about it, and he was the only person there for me because my parents decided they wanted to leave for Mexico, take my little brother, and get out of the country. I lived by myself out in Worcester. I found out by watching MTV one night the whole check yourself. Get on, the HIV, STD, and then check yourself for cancer. I'm like, okay. Laying in bed one night, I'm like, well, holy shit. What would that be? Waited it out, went and saw our team doctor, because I was playing hockey out in Worcester, and he goes, you know what, that could be a million things. We'll go and give it a week, 2 weeks, see what happens. I go on the road, I can't play on the road because I'm in so much pain. I come back, he goes, well, that's not the right size. I had one normal testicle, one the size of a golf ball. Yeah, that's not the right size, I get it. Next day I'm in there for an ultrasound. I'm like, so what do you see on there? She's like, well, we can't tell you, we're not allowed to diagnose this, but we're going to send these over to the doctor and you can check it out. Go over there, I see our team doctor. Nicest guy ever, he's never screwed around with me, he told me everything. He's like, well, I can't tell you what this is, I got to send you upstairs. I'm like, all right, Jesus, somebody tell me what is going on here. Go upstairs, I see a urologist. He goes, Cory, I got bad news for you. This is cancerous. I'm like, okay. What does that mean? He goes, well, it's tumor, you got a couple different kinds of cancer right here. We're just gonna have to remove it. Okay. I still don't understand what you're saying. He's like, you have to have your testicle removed. Okay, that doesn't sound too bad. I went home that night and I freaked the hell out. I was bawling, I didn't know what to do. My girlfriend came over, she was hanging out with me. I had no idea. My parents had just left from Mexico. I had nothing. I told Ryan, Ryan said he'd come out. He took me to the hospital. He's sitting in the room, we're screwing around. They go to take blood, I passed out. So then they're giving me drugs and everything, so I'm real relaxed, screwing around with them. So then going for surgery, come out. That was it. No testicle. Spent the night in the hospital. He's like, 95% chance that you're done. Okay. Go home, I took care of everything, got back working out, got ready for the hockey season. I'm going for my monthly check, and he goes, well, your blood work came back today. I'm like, yeah, it comes back every week, thank you. Cancer's returned. Okay, what does that mean? Well, we don't know where it's at, so we're going to send you in for a CT scan, look over your body, see where it's at. Well, we found 2 tumors, one on each lung. Okay, so where do we go from here? So, well, we're going to have to go through chemotherapy. Again, I took it as it was, went home, freaked out. Looked up online, Googled it, didn't know what I would have to do. So I said, okay, another step, we'll just take care of this. I go and see a oncologist. He talks to me, tells me how it's going to go. The guy was a complete, total jerk, so I went to a new oncologist at the Cleveland Clinic, which is where I was treated. He took complete care of me. He said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to be real quick. It's only going to be 9 weeks. You'll be done. 99% curable with this one. All right, that's fine. Went home again, freaked out, didn't know. They said you're going to lose your hair, you're going to be sick. So, okay. What they didn't tell me was all the little side effects that come with it, like the irritability when you're 9 weeks sick. So I go in for my chemo, passed out again because they stuck the IV in me. And I went through 9 weeks of chemo. I went through 3 cycles of 3 weeks. You go for five days for 7 hours. You sit in a chair, you got just fluid after fluid after fluid pumped into you, and it was absolutely disgusting. First night was fine, second night was fine, third night I started throwing up all over the place. It made me so sick. So I'm at work the one day, I'm scratching my beard, and I go, there's no beard there. All my beard fell out of my hands, scratch my head, there's all my hair. I'm like, all right, this is getting wonderful. I'm really enjoying this. So I keep going through my chemo. All the guys from the team are coming in town, they're starting to come up and see me. Ryan would call every once in a while, give me a good smart-ass comment, like, how you feeling? I'm in chemo, how do you think I'm feeling? Then, after, I don't know, a month or so after chemo, I go back for my monthly checks, and the doctor goes, well, those spots are still in your lungs. I'm like, holy hell, would you guys just give me a break? He goes, so I asked him, all right, where do we go from here? Well, we're going to send you up to Cleveland Clinic up in Cleveland, up in the main campus. He's like, best lung surgeon I know, he's going to take care of you. I'm like, oh, lung surgeon? That's not, I didn't know we talked about this. I thought chemo was that 99% curable, right? After the 95% curable first surgery, went through chemo, so I said, fine, wonderful. That's kind of the card that I'm getting dealt here. So I go up there, he says, well, these tumors, they're small, but we have to remove everything around them. So I go in, when can I have the surgery? It's like, how about next week? Okay. It's next surgery next week? Sounds like a deal. Go home, Ryan takes me out to dinner, we talked about it. Next morning, I'm in the car heading up to the Cleveland Clinic, 6 in the morning. I ended up having half my left lung removed, and then a good chunk of my right lung removed. I have my ribs separated, they're still on top of each other, they don't quite sit right. Was in the hospital for 5 days. Ryan came up and saw me. I had 3 different IVs, I had chest tubes, I had everything. The wonderful catheter, which is the coolest thing I've ever experienced, because you don't have to stand up and go pee ever. That was a good development for me. So I had to deal with that. Ryan was there the whole time, being a good brother, taking care of me, keeping me laughing. He said one night, hey, that nurse is kind of cute. I'm like, yeah, I have a catheter. And that nice little pickup on it. So after that, I had that surgery, came back to playing hockey. Now I go back to the Cleveland Clinic every month, get blood drawn, get a CT scan, and I'm happy to say that I've been clean for 11 months. And through this whole experience, I found, mostly with the Live Strong organization and Lance Armstrong, the way that he took on cancer was almost the same way that I did. He kind of took it head on, had his scary moments, was terrified, but he did take it head on, and he didn't look back. The reason I'm able to stand up here and make a joke out of it, because it didn't scare me, because I knew what I was doing, I knew what I was up against, and I was very proud to say that I did it mostly on my own. Not that I didn't want my parents around, but I kind of wanted to have that independence of me doing it by myself and growing as a person. And because of cancer, the biggest thing that I learned is how to grow up and take care of myself. So, thank you, Ryan. And
thank you, Cory, for sharing your story. Alright, we're going to take a quick break here, and you guys can go back to mingling and partying and enjoying the run for refreshments. And in about 20 minutes or so, I'll give away some of the door prizes, and then around 8, we'll have Hotel Easy come up here and play a set. Thank you all for coming.